Today, your Bible reading comes from my very own personal copy, copyright 1986 by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. Never threw it away, still got it. So we're going to go through this together. I'm going to read it together. Not the whole thing. We're just going to do the first chapter. Chapter 1, True Peace and Security. Near. Exclamation mark. You like me exclamation mark? That's what it is. Surely you, like most persons, long for peace and security. People everywhere are tired of crime, violence, war, and the threatening nuclear nightmare. Well, I know I am. What about you? Putting a stupid voice on here. Just read it normal, Martin. There's no need to go all silly and 1980s. Too many do not have decent jobs, adequate housing, or enough food. What a joy it would be if such problems could be solved on this earth, would become a pleasant, secure home for its inhabitants. Well, that's it. Don't need to read anymore. That's what we want. It's what we've always wanted. But how long are we going to have to wait before we get it? That is the question. Very picturesque. I know when I was a kid growing up, I used to look at these publications and I used to sort of envision myself at the side of a stream, looking upon what could be even dangerous animals by today's standards, but back then, I wasn't in fear of them. When I say back then, I mean looking forward to a time when there wouldn't be this fear of the animals that we have now. I always thought, oh, what would it be like if I could just hug a bear? What would it be like if I could just go up to a really strong, powerful panther or a tiger and just throw myself right round its neck like that and give it a proper loving embrace? And I say this out loud at the time when I was a kid. And I think people used to say, well, Martin, you know, you won't have long to wait and then you'll be able to experience all that. You like your music, don't you, Martin? You like your music? I says, yeah. He said, well, you know, you might become accomplished at playing an instrument in the new system, in God's righteous new order. And I said, oh, right, yeah. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind learning an instrument. But I just haven't got the patience now. And he says, but that's where you'll be completely at home in the new system. You'll have all the time in the world to perfect whatever instrument, a violin, a piano, or whatever. You'll have all the time in the world to hone your skills, to become a virtuoso. Is that the word? Somebody accomplished in their field, in the musical area. Virtuoso. I think that's the word. But now, people, I can't even see it. I honestly can't see it. It makes no apparent sense to me now. So just reading that to you then, it almost, hate to say this, but it almost seemed like a fairy tale. I didn't want it to be a fairy tale. I wanted it to be something tangible, something that I could just touch, something solid like that, something solid that I knew was actually real. And yet when I'm reading this 1986 publication, it seems so outdated and to a large extent not as accurate as I would have liked. Don't get me wrong, we all want peace. We all want to be secure in our houses at night. We don't want to have to worry about when we go for a picnic on a Sunday. We don't want to have to worry about people around us maybe attacking us or opportunists wanting to gain an advantage, and all we want to do is just enjoy a nice, peaceful time together. We don't want to have to worry about the consequences of what could go wrong. I've always liked the idea that we could leave the door open all night and not have to lock it. No need to lock your door. You could leave it open, wide open, and nobody was going to come in that was going to do you harm. All this was painted, this picture was painted vividly in my mind. And yet now, it just seems transient. It just seems like it's just a mist that is just slowly dissipating. Do you understand what I mean? It's slowly dissipating. I can no longer see any sort of remnants of that vision. I think you do know what I mean. I think all of you feel the same way. You know what? We might just read a bit more of this another time. We'll just pick out different bits of it and go through with it with you, just to see if from 1986, when it was published by the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, whether it was slanted then to fit in with the 80s, with that time frame. Was it slanted so much that even now reading it, we would hardly recognize it as being a book of guidance? The only true thing that I can say about it is, I don't think that there's a man, woman, or child that's alive today that does not want to have a true and peaceful and secure existence. I'm sure that all husbands, all fathers of children, they want to be able to know that they can keep their children safe and not have to worry about them. So in that respect, I still think you should keep it here, keep it in your heart, that, you know, you're yearning for something better. And no matter who brings that, no matter who heralds that, if it's not this organization, if it's another one that's yet to come, we don't know. But whoever is heralding something better, and at least giving out some kind of warning that the former things of this world are passing away, and to love this world and the things in the world means that likely you're not going to find yourself probably in that new righteous order, new system, God's new system, not man's attempt at a new world order, because that's what he will do. I've always thought that that's exactly what man does. He sees something that's in the Bible and he taints it, and he almost copies it and imitates it and runs a carbon copy of what God's plan is. And God's plan is that those that are ruining the earth will be brought to ruin. God's plan is learn war no more. And God's plan is tell people about his messianic kingdom. That's what his plan is. But man's plan is lie and constantly lie. And when you're found out to have lied, then tell even bigger lies. And keep loving the father of the lie, Satan. Keep loving him. This is all I see from man. But there will come a time where they're going to be completely left on their own. All those that have previously been true servants of Satan, they will be completely left on their own, because he will eventually be powerless to help them. And when that time comes, it's going to look much more attractive to be a Christian and to do the things that God finds pleasant. It's going to be a much more attractive way of life than what Satan was previously offering, which was nothing but death, disease, lies, unhappiness, discontentment, broken marriages, children having no natural affection, no respect for their elders. That's all you'll get under Satan's rule. So as much as I find that this book, when it was first published, was an eye-opening book at the time, and I went through it several times, and we went through it in the Tuesday book study, didn't we? Probably 3 times. I've always said it's dated, and it does appear that way, but the fundamental outline of this book, for me, it's still something that I think everybody out there now wants more than ever. And that's true peace and security that can only be accomplished under a non-human government source, a righteous government source that can't be corrupted and can't be bought off. And that can only be God's Messianic kingdom. Thank you.